great independence, with these bi-monthly trainings for you guys, health and fitness professionals, to have you guys create more income, impact, independence, and live the lifestyle you guys truly want, okay? So today what we're going to talk about is the hybrid model advantage. I love hybrid models. I really, really do. And I really think the pendulum swing is kind of going back to running a hybrid, and I really think this is something you got to consider in the future, is having a hybrid model, right? To recession and future-proof your business, and again, it's just the pendulum swing of coming back to community, right? And camaraderie and people wanting to be a part of something, because virtual is great, but nothing beats the substitution of like the in-person dynamic. It's just so different. You guys know that if you guys are in-person personal trainers or nutritionists, nothing beats the face-to-face stuff. It doesn't, So I'm a huge proponent of the hybrid model advantage. This is what we preach in the accelerator program to our health and fitness coaches. So you guys are going to get a really good taste of some cool hybrid models that you guys can do in your guys' coaching business, okay? But first, I wanted to share with you guys a couple of just screenshots of some coaches who are in the accelerator program that are running hybrid models and are considered hybrid coaches, right? So Colette, she's been really, really killing the hybrid model over in Michigan, and she's hit 10K months by running a hybrid model, right? And if you have Mark here, he's from Canada, and he's right there, 10K, just off of a hybrid model, right? So the proof is in the pudding, guys. It really works, okay? Okay, so let me start off with some problems, right, of what happens with health and fitness coaches when they first want to be like, hey, I want to go online, right? There's a lot of BS stuff out there of going online. It's super easy. It's super convenient. It's the laptop lifestyle, right? You can go wherever you want and work less, right? It's a mirage. It's BS, like I said, right? So here's some problems, right, with health and fitness coaches when they really just want to just completely start from scratch and go online, okay? The first one is you're starting from step one with online coaching. Let's face it, whenever you start at step one with something, it's not the easiest thing to do, right? Because you have all those stairs, right, to really climb up, right? And when climbing those stairs, you might miss some steps, right? You might kind of regress. You might get to the point where you want to hit the quit button, right? So a lot of stuff comes with really starting from scratch in step one with online coaching, okay? The second things it leads to is impatience to build your online business kicks in, right? So again, you're starting from scratch, right? And you're trying to go up there. Your impatience kicks in because we're just impatient human beings, right? We want overnight success. That's what the internet tells us. And the third thing that happens when we get really impatient, right, with our business, we start making a lot of mistakes. You guys have all seen this meme with Homer Simpson when he fades back into the bushes. That's what happens. You start making a lot of mistakes, right? And that causes time, money, pain, agony. And then what that leads to, guys, is ultimately hitting that button right there and quitting your business. Hopes and dreams are down the drain once you hit that quit button, because it is failure once you do hit that quit button, okay? Everything else is just mere setbacks. Now, on the opposite side of things, right, if you're a health and fitness coach and you're starting your, online coaching business, these are the solutions to this, right? Is, again, start, and this is why you want to actually do a hybrid model, is because you have a strong in-person foundation to go off of, right? Just like a home, you have to have the foundation on there. If you don't have the foundation, if there's a storm, if there's a wind, there's a flood, it's probably going to fall over. Same thing with the business. You got to have a strong foundation. And I feel like if you have a hybrid model of in-person coaching and a community of clients, it's a strong foundation to build upon. Because then what can happen is you can actually slow down a little bit with building the online side of things, and you have more patience to build the online business. And then what happens with that, you make less mistakes. And when you make less mistakes, you grow the business, right? The right way, okay? And then if you do all those things right, you end up building a brand for the long run. So think about, companies like Apple, I guess Nike, we can say, those are big brands, right? Because they've been in the game for a long time, right? And they've been patient. They played the long game, okay? All right, so let's get into 5 key points of why you should run a hybrid model as a health and fitness coach, right? The very first one is you can add another revenue stream on there, okay? Again, if you have an online business, you have the online component and you have the in-person component. That's 2, communities you're serving, so it's 2 revenue streams, okay? It's faster, in my opinion, to get to 10K months that way. It takes pressure off social media following, okay? Because again, in this game of building your online business, there's a perception of all you do is post on social media and you get a bunch of online clients and they pay you $2,000 for online programs, or you throw up a website and you tell your following, hey, go to my website. And then all of a sudden they go to your website and they push a button and you make money in your sleep. It's BS. It does not work like that. So if you do a hybrid model, take some pressure off your social media following, right? The third thing is you convert clients to online, okay? So if you have an in-person foundation and a community of in-person clients, you can convert them to online. And I tell people too, you have a 3 to 5 mile radius. Everybody does, okay? There's a bunch of online clients in a 3 to 5 mile radius. Just because they're local clients does not mean they can't become online clients. And then the fourth thing is you're basically helping more people, right? Again, yeah, online. Once you get to the point where you're like growing, you can reach more people, worldwide, nationwide, right? But when you're starting on this in your journey, you can help more people with the 3 to 5 or 3 to 10 mile radius and building the online business, okay? And then again, I like it because you're thinking outside the box. You're doing what other health and fitness coaches don't want to do. Their mindset is black and white, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to be an in-person coach or an in-person nutrition consultant, that's it. Or I'm just going to go completely online and just kind of roll the dice there, especially if I'm starting off, right? Just be different. Think outside the box, okay? Run a hybrid model. I'm going to show you guys a couple of different ones on here, okay, that you guys can run. All right. Hopefully you guys have gotten some value so far like this. I want you guys to go like this because right now we're going to get our hands dirty right now and give you guys some good stuff, okay? Okay. So we have basically 9 hybrid coaching models that we teach in the Accelerator program. I don't have time here to give you guys all 9, but I'm going to give you guys literally 3 really good ones that you guys can walk away with and be like, I should probably run this one of these hybrid models, okay? If I'm barely starting my coaching business or something like that, okay? All right, let's move on to the very first one right here, okay? The first one we're going to focus on is what's called a remote hybrid. So this is basically for an online coach that wants to basically, let's just say, be 90% online and maybe 10% in person, okay? And the way, if you want to think about it like this with numbers, maybe it's like 20 plus, online clients that you're doing, because 90% of the time with that, you could probably take more if you want, right? Depending on your systems and your model. And then if you're doing in-person stuff, you're maybe doing like less than 5 in-person clients. So that's a good ratio. That's a good model right there. So if you're a coach and you're like, hey, I want to do a remote hybrid where it's 90% online and 10% in person, this is a great option for you guys, okay? Now, the opposite side of the spectrum of a remote hybrid is basically extra cash hybrid. And this is really just kind of flipped around with what I just showed you guys right now. It's basically 90%, in person, and it's 10% online. So this is for somebody that's a coach. It's like, yeah, I really love the online, or I love the in-person stuff. I'm not giving that up, okay? Cool, but at least you can open up a revenue stream and get some extra cash hybrid, right? And get some extra cash and cash flow and still recession future-proof your business, right? And you're helping more people out as well too. So what this looks like, again, is like maybe, 20 plus like in-person one-on-one clients or semi-private, however you do it. And then online, maybe it's like less than 5 online clients, but a high premium though, right? High ticket packages we're talking here. Okay, let's move on to the third hybrid model here that I'm going to show you guys. This is one of my favorites, and a lot of our coaches like this too. Best of both worlds, hybrid. And again, it's really kind of just what it says, right? Is basically an example of this would be like, let's just say you have 20 clients, okay? A roster of 20 people. So 10 people would be in person, and then the other 10 people would be online. And this way it gives it just like a 50-50 kind of best of both worlds dynamic, for a coach. You got 10 people in person, 10 people online. All depends on like your client roster and load and all that type of stuff, okay? All right, I'm gonna hook you guys up and I'm gonna give you guys a bonus one right here. And this is one that you guys can really put into practice, right? This one's gonna blow your mind. So with this one, we call the semi-private hybrid, okay? So with this one, it's also an example of an 80-20 hybrid model. And there's a lot of different forms of 80-20 hybrid models you guys can do, but check this out. This is from one of our past students. He's a really small micro gym owner in San Diego. His name's Sean. And this is a really cool semi-hybrid model he did, okay? So if you look at this is basically a 12-week program that he has, right? 12 weeks. It's $1,800. There's 2 sessions that he runs right here. There's a 5 a.m. session and a 6 p.m. session. And again, it's semi-private. It's not one-to-one, okay? So he can take on more people that way. Basically, they get to come in, 3 to 5 times a week, so long as they do the 5 a.m. session or 6 p.m. session. Then he has the online coaching and he has the nutrition coaching with them, right? And then they get access to his home-based gym. So if they want to come other days, just to work out outside of those 5 a.m., 6 p.m.s, then they can do that, right? But this is a beautiful kind of semi-hybrid scalable model that you could do as well too, right? So again, there's no rules to this, which is super cool. You can get super creative. That's your only limitation, is your creativity on this, okay? So that's a really good example. And then right here, I don't have time to do this, but this is something too that we have our students pick their top 3 hybrid models and answer some questions, see if it's a good fit. But again, guys, another couple of coaches here that are in the Accelerator program. This is Juan Salgado. He's from Orange County. He does a hybrid model as well too. And he basically went from 30K to 100K in a year doing a hybrid model. And you have Walter. Walter is from Canada as well too. He does a hybrid model. And in one of his months, he did $18,000, in Canadian, right, for a hybrid model. So guys, hopefully this all helped you guys out on here. The next thing I want you to do is, if you guys want the two-step process on how to set up a hybrid coaching model, then comment below the word hybrid, and I'll get you guys that training so you guys can set that up. If you guys want this workbook as well too, well, that's going to cost you guys some money. So I'm going to put my Venmo code below in the comments and you guys can screenshot that. I'm just kidding. It's free. Okay. So if you guys want the workbook, just comment below workbook below. You guys can get either the training for the two-step hybrid model or the workbook here and check out all these type of cool stuff. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I like to keep these around 10 minutes to give you guys 100% value, but go put this into practice. Hopefully my goal, my intention was to open up your guys' eyes on why you should consider running a hybrid model, especially if you're starting off. Later down the road, it's great because you're building this ramp, right? To where it's like you can make a decision if you want to go fully online or just keep the hybrid model. And a lot of people like doing that because of the in-person dynamic and the online dynamic and the community they're building, right? So I love it. I love hybrid models. I think the pendulum is swinging from when we're going basically out of COVID for the past 3 years, all virtual. Now it's going to swing back to doing a hybrid model and bringing back some of this in-person stuff. I truly believe that, and I see it, from in this industry. Okay. Other than that, guys, much love, much respect. Keep doing the work that you guys are doing. You guys are amazing. You guys are life changers out there. Much respect. Talk to you guys soon.